Okay, well, I hope I can do some good for you. I really put together a collection here. You have listed 300 sources of free and low cost sources of money and help to start your business, whatever the heck it is. Yeah. And also, there's over 100 videos in this report, too. So they're instructional videos that tell you step by step or more detailed about some of the items that you may want to know more about. Or there are people who've used these items and they explain to you how they've used it and how they were able to take advantage of it. Now, I read your essay. It was nice of you to send that about where you stand and what you're trying to do, and it was very helpful in trying to get into your shoes a little bit to see what's best for, or most helpful for you. I mean, nobody knows what's good for you except you. And I could, give you suggestions maybe. But you have a job that you don't like so many people that I talk to do nowadays, and trying to get out of it. But you have an idea what you want to do, but it's not really clear, I guess, how you can make it happen. The first thing is, I think, no matter what you do, is that keep that job so you don't have to worry about overhead and don't jump into anything, even borrow money to start a business or whatever until you have it going pretty well. It's just too insecure. Nobody really knows. Even the people that are selling you, business packages to start, these kinds of businesses. 99 times out of 100, you're just going to create too much anxiety. So, if I were you, I would take smaller steps by keeping your job, but real steps. And I see you've been in the Small Business Development Center. That's great. They say there's no grants, and they're true too. And it's different. Like here, you'll see grants. There's, like in most states now, you get free money to live on by using your unemployment, and then that's a grant. There's money for training, for you as a small business entrepreneur, or if you hire somebody, training. You want to sell overseas, there's grant money there. There's grant money if you want to learn to sell to the government. They give you a grant to help you figure out how to sell to the government so you can get a contract. So there's grants. It's also, and then the other thing, in the second main video, I have 3 introduction videos. One is how to treat people when you go after these sources. That's the first sort one. The second one is this one we're talking about, and then the third one is really about what's happening on the internet. So not government programs, but how to use the websites and crowdfunding and peer-to-peer, shared economy to help you do to start or expand a business or even live on. So let's go back to your idea. First of all, I have all the government stuff is there. You could go through that shopping list. I see you've been to the Small Business Center, and that works so and so. Then if that is it, because we'll talk about business plans. I like to talk about that because I see they suggest that, or you. And I don't know if you need a business plan. You need a business, first. So you may want to just use them when you have problems. Then you have a legal problem, you have an accounting problem, or whatever, and start figuring out, how you're going to do this otherwise. Because I think what you're doing, it must be a lot of opportunities there, but it really seems to be a marketing game. I mean, the products you're all getting from somebody else, right? So to have these kind of little, tchotchkes or T-shirts or whatever it is, that there are suppliers for that. So it seems that what you have to do is find the customers. And you said you like the back end, is the processing the orders and things like that, where it seems in a business like this, it succeeds or fail on getting customers. So if you know the back end already, what it seems that you have to learn is the front end. How are you going to get customers to sell these kinds of products to? Because that's, you don't have a business at all unless you have a customer. See, I think everything else about a business is detail. You'll figure out accounting, you'll figure out legal, you'll figure out anything. But if you don't have a customer, none of that matters. And I got an MBA years ago thinking I needed that. And I was getting everything that people would tell me as an MBA. I have to get the right, tax, advantage, the right incorporation, the right business cards, the right, board of directors and everything. My first two businesses went out of business. And then I decided that, heck, the only thing that really counts about a business is a customer. The rest doesn't matter. Even filing with the government, that doesn't matter. It takes them 3 years to find you. And by that time, I never lasted my businesses that long, so it didn't matter. I'd be out of business by the time they come looking for me. And if I was still in business, I'd pay the extra $50 or whatever it is. So it seems like the most important thing is getting a customer. So thinking, and I'm projecting, so I don't really know if this is true or not about where you are, but it seems you know everything about satisfying customer, getting the stuff out and everything like that. And that's good. So you have that skill and that knowledge, like it. But the key to being in business is how you're going to bring in the money. How are you going to do that? So what are ways that you could do that, to start getting that skill somehow. Because once you learn how to get a customer, just think if somebody just knocked on your door, gave you a call today and said, hey, I'd like to buy 10,000 of these little things for my company or whatever. You probably know where to get those, right? If you really had to. And you could figure it out quickly. I mean, you go to these conferences, you go to these whatever, who would make that. So maybe you wouldn't make them, so it'd be a little more expensive. But you could fulfill that order, it seems, if somebody really presented to you. So that's what I mean. See, that part you figured out how to do, I would think. The part that's you haven't gotten into yet is how do you get that person to call you that wants 10,000 things? Maybe you're thinking about trade shows or whatever. As a way, and I'm trying to think of other ways, to do that. And the kinds of things that come to my mind is one that you rep for somebody, because you know the back end. Now you have to know how to sell. So you could sell for some existing person, not so much the back end people, but the front end people. So you could learn that business. That's one way of doing it. Another way is maybe to figure out the government buys more of this. Now, if you go selling to the government, this section there, I show you where the local office is to how to sell anything to the government. I mean, it may take you 6 months to figure this out. But so you're selling to the government, it costs nothing, and they may even be able to get a grant to help you figure it out. But once you do figure it out, it just keeps coming and coming and coming. Yeah. So that may be an interesting thing to specialize in. The other thing I'm thinking about is maybe a way to get interested is think about not so much what you see, but what you don't see. In other words, what do you believe would be an interesting, novelty item or whatever, incentive item would be good, and maybe I don't know the business that well or whatever, but if, luggage for women travelers or something like that. I mean, if there was something that you were interested in, you're a fisherman, maybe fishing gear for women fishermen or something like that, that people would be interested in, it'd be a nice incentive item, to people have. So I'm wondering if you can take the ideas and find a market that you can relate in, that is more you, so you could talk to people in that business, because, sales can be intimidating, and particularly if you're, you got to go to a baseball game with guys who like baseball or something, you don't care about that. So if you look for promotional items for something that you really care about, maybe nonprofit organizations that help children or something like that, and sort of try that idea. I mean, even on a part-time basis, maybe you see one or two items that's available that you could sell to people. Maybe contact, do some researching or whatever, and find people that may be interested in something like that. That's a way to do it. And that's sort of interesting. Now, another thing to do is look at the second half on crowdfunding. I mean, this is, I think, one of the hottest things in our country right now, to do anything, to test anything or whatever. You have to expand your imagination a little bit on this, sort of like being with women and fishing. Maybe that doesn't relate to you at all, but you got to maybe you are a bowler or a baseball game person, and you put something that you did. See, my point about that is, if you're passionate about something, you have more incentive to try to figure it out. If you're not passionate about it, you just want to make money out of them, somebody else could beat you because they've been there a long time. But if there's something passionate about, your authenticity, but your passion for what you're doing comes through and shows that you're better than these people who are just saying a script. So you don't even have to know much. You just have to have desire more than anything. And then that, to me, is the key to most successful, at least entrepreneuring ventures, is that people have the passion and want to be there. You may be motivated by fear, that's part of it too, but if you believe in something, that is a wonderful motivation. And so if you chose something or a field or a community that you really care for or want to help through promotional products, and Geared went around the industry and picked up some things just as trial balloons to people to see. So maybe if you concentrated on a sector of people, because everybody needs a promotional product. So it could be homeless shelters, because they're all doing fundraising, see, and things like that. And by the way, that's another thing. Let's go make sure you watch the second video on all those other stories, because it's a better place for loans. It's a better place for so many things in our country that I explained there. But the crowdfunding is very interesting, particularly like as a nonprofit. You can have a product that you provide to nonprofits that could give away on their fundraising campaign. So look at that. You see how people, use, if you're a nonprofit, you could raise money through crowdfunding. If you're a business, you could raise money for crowdfunding. So that's why maybe you want like women energy drinks or something, and you come up with a wonderful little gift item to keep energy drinks in or something. And so everybody who orders the energy drinks gets one of these. Or, there's ways to do these, and see those gifty kind of items that you have, or promotional products, are great for crowdfunding campaigns. So if you marriage one of those crowdfunding campaigns together with a group of people you want to really help, and think of products for them to use in crowdfunding campaigns, so they could raise money, even for their businesses. I'll be like, this is a great item for you to give away as a gift for a crowdfunding. So it's like an umbrella, at a baseball game or something you get for free. So on their crowdfunding campaign, you have these great little reasonable gifts that you can give people to raise. So you show them a new way for them to get customers and have a great gift item, for them to do it. So that's why I think that is an opportunity that may be very interesting. But I mean, if the other thing I would do is maybe we have something there, meetup groups. I would get with some marketing people, because see, you can put something online now on a store. You could open up a store today on Amazon or Etsy or something like that, and You go to Fiverr.com. They'll help you set one up or whatever. It's very easy to do things, but if you're afraid of, so at least you have a, a retail presence with your name on it, even though it's not full time or not. And go with or without that, but attend marketing things. How people market on the internet. So that's another way to get sales besides belly to belly. And I see there's meetup groups. You may have to go 20 miles out of town, but in the meetup section down one of the second half of this report, you'll see where they are. And how to find them. And that means they meet on Wednesday night, some internet marketing group, and it costs you $20 for a pizza or something like that. And that's it. But how are people getting customers like that? I would think that what you may have to focus on at this time would be how are you going to get customers? And work that out so you tested it and it works well, and that's why. See, a business plan doesn't help you do that. I mean, that's why I see you haven't done a business plan. You mentioned, what do you need one for? You don't know what you're really going to do. I mean, anything you do, say in the business plan, probably won't work. It's going to lead to something else. So it's. And that's only to show to people who want to give out money. So they want, but you don't really know what to do. So why write one of those? Just try some stuff. It doesn't cost any money to try and test all these things. So you really don't need any money till you start testing. Hey, if one of these bring in money, that's what you need. You need to test business ideas, not a plan to impress somebody else. You just have to do something to try to get money from somebody. On this. If you want to talk more, just let me know. I think I hit the highlights of the first part. I mean, there's a lot of help for you here that I have, and you'll be able to use this report for the rest of your life when you have, grow to 10 people, then 100 and 5,000 or whatever. It's the same sources that will be available unless you move to another state or something like that. Even selling overseas, and that's another possibility. But I would try to find what stuff you're interested in and see if that is a category you could try to start selling immediately to with somebody else's products or whatever. Because it seems like you could figure out how to get it serviced. And what you need to do is figure out how to get somebody to give you a check. And once you figure that out, then it's gangbusters, and the rest is detail, and it doesn't matter. So let me know if I'm full of baloney or whatever. Shoot me an email if you want to talk. Oh, by the way, I have a good section in the second half about failing at crowdfunding. And that's terrific. That's what's neat. You get a chance to fail, and you'll get more money by failing than if you do by winning. And that's why it's a whole new ballgame, I think, out there. It's not the old stuff doesn't work. And so, the SPDCs, bless their soul, I think they're great. Most people think old think, and the old think's not working anymore. So what you got to do is think new think. And I'm not even sure what that is yet.